Please welcome Karin Beckstrom, Senior Manager at ERT Innovation Lab.
All right, hi everyone. ERT, in case you don't know, is a company focused on clinical trials. We've been doing that for over 40 years, collecting safety and patient data reported outcomes and minimizing the risk for sponsors. And specifically in the Innovation Lab, my job is to look at new technologies and understand how they could fit into phase 3 clinical trials. Are they ready? When will they be ready? What are the risks associated with that? So I'm going to share some of the information that we learned through the voice assistant technology. And so what you see here is the continuum across clinical trials. And we're looking at the first part, so recruiting patients, enrolling patients, and you can see that there hasn't been a lot of penetration yet in those areas, right? But we certainly can envision a time where someone could say, hey, Alexa, you know, where's the psoriatic arthritis clinical trial near me, so that they could find it. Or if they're going through the consenting process, right, they can ask, hey, Alexa, what is a ChemLab 7 test? And learn all about it. So on the last part, when you're in the trial, we're a little bit further along with prototypes and some of the easy things, reminders, notifications, and being able to do patient-reported outcomes. We think collecting that data is critical for all clinical trials, and so giving that a test and being able to use it on a consistent basis is really important, as well as providing the access to do how-to type of information. How do I take my blood pressure? So they can ask that as often as they need to. But why do we want to do this, right? So as I said, being able to collect the data in real time, being able to consistently collect it quickly is important, right? Not only so the sponsor can find out is the drug effective or not, but so the principal investigator can ensure the safety of the patient while they're in the trial, and then ultimately back to the personal physician so that they have the data for the continuum of care. But there's two things that we specifically want to solve, right? One is to make trials more inclusive. So if we can solve the problem of today when you're collecting patients' reported outcome, you're using an app or using paper and pencil. So if we can bypass the problem of having to have visual and dexterity and be more inclusive to let other people join the trial, we can help with that enrollment. And of course, the engagement part of Alexa can keep them enrolled so you don't have to find new patients and can keep them throughout. So what are some of the hurdles? Well, language is one of them, and I think we've heard that for a couple people, right? In clinical trials today, for our global ones, we're using over 100 different languages, right? And so maybe they have 10% of that now today available. So there's quite a ways to go, but that's more of a timing issue. The other part, the regulatory part, it's certainly not insurmountable, but as you build out the tools for clinical trials, you need to make sure that you're still making them compliant with the regulations. These are the three areas that we've done prototypes, and what we did is we created a series of these so that a user could go through and give us feedback from the full experience, right? From taking a patient-reported outcome on a daily basis, from understanding what's in the study, and finally, for the principal investigator to learn what alerts came up for their patients. So if we look at some of the data that we learned, first thing we want to know is, do you find it engaging? Well, the answer was yes, they did find it very much engaging. The second thing, and most importantly, is would they be willing to provide that data on a daily basis, right? And so the questionnaire, being able to come up and say, yes, I can answer this on a daily basis. One of the things where we saw the trail off of people who said they wouldn't do it is because they felt it was too long. And so you really have to keep the questionnaire short that you're going to. The other questions that we asked is one, so finding the skill, was that easy to do? Right? And were they able to do it? But most importantly, could Alexa understand you? So as our first colleagues had to have someone without an accent come talk to Alexa, we wanted to make sure that a wide variety of people could use them effectively. And so we talked to all sorts of different types of accents in order to make sure that Alexa could understand, or at least they could learn, become comfortable with it. All right, so when we asked them, when we got the questions, we said, well, who do you think would most benefit from this, right? As you can see on there, they felt that children, elderly, those with disabilities could really benefit from that. And then finally, we said, well, today an app is the standard. Do you want to use that or do you want to use Alexa? And the answer came back saying they wanted to use voice and they wanted to use it and have a choice for it.